Welcome to the second instalment of our Advanced Maptitude, reading into viewing data into Maptitude. In our first video we read the 12 points from rugby clubs into Maptitude. What I'm going to do now is start to work with these blue dots and do a little bit of styling, changing the icons, changing a bit of the styles to personalise this. This might be useful in a business context if you're looking to personalise the maps that you have for your force or fire service to fit in with some sorts of themes that you may have, or really just if you want to move away from the generic blue dots and blue labels and apply something else. So just before we get into the how to do things, what I'm doing here is really talking through the concepts and the functionality within Maptitude and how we can make these changes. I'm not a designer, I don't really know what the best fonts and colours should be. I think it's very much up to you yourself as a user. All we're going to do is run through the functionality and how to go about making these changes. So the first thing we've got is labels in here. So the dots show the locations and the labels. So first things first is just check that on the data that you put in, right click and make the working layer. That's we want to make the changes to the what's called my data locations, but that's the locations of the rugby clubs. The first thing is we just double click on the blue circle. It gives us a bunch of options for changing the dots. So you could just change the icon. So there's lots of options for symbols that the icons could be. So for example, if the rugby clubs weren't rugby clubs, instead were supermarkets, you've got the option of supermarket trolley there, and you can select from the icons. You can make the size bigger, and you can change in the size, and you can also change the colour. So what I'll go for here is a grey supermarket trolley. So in order to see what that looks like, just at any point click apply, it will update on there. The other thing we might want to do is if we've got quite a busy map going on, we might want to change the opacity to see, allow other layers to show through. As you can see that just, as we apply that, it just makes the icon a lot lighter. So I'm going to put that back up to 100. So that's the first way you can change the icon that you have there through the icons. There is other settings to prevent overlapping labels, so that's something that if you only wanted to show certain labels, then that's an option, then to leave that off. So first of all, you've got these icons which are different fonts that you can get. So for those of you who remember Windings and Webdings from the original Microsoft products, all those symbols are there, and there's a whole bunch of things that you can have a look at and find something that's useful for yourself. There might, however, be a particular image that you want to show here. So one of the things we've got here is the ability to, within the icon piece, we can then go into the files. And the files within Maptitude, there are a whole bunch of icons or PNGs that have been made specially by Caliper. If I select Fire Station, for example, apply that. So to say these weren't rugby clubs, they were fire stations, we can just select that icon and that icon pops up. We can scale that icon based on the number of pixels we want it to use, so making it larger or smaller based on need. This also allows us to pull in our own pictures. So I've got one in here from my training files. I have a rugby ball that we've made, so this is a PNG file that I want to put in, and because they're rugby clubs I want to apply these. Size 18 sounds about right, so I'll put these in, and size 18, apply, and we start to see we've got a rugby ball for each of the areas. So okay, so we've got that does the icon. If you want to change the labels, just the next one over the left hand side, the one that looks like a little label you put in a parcel, double click there and that opens the labels menu. So easiest thing to start with is fonts, very similar to the sort of Microsoft products, able to change the size, and the colour of fonts. So I want black labels here, and I'm going to change the font to be Cambria, for example. Callisto NT, there we go. So if I apply that, we see starting to customise the map to our own ways. Now that looks fine, but we have a couple of things going on that might be quite interesting when it comes to labels. So first of all, the labels are not necessarily overlapping, but certainly it becomes difficult when fonts are bigger in terms of determining which label belongs to which of the rugby balls. So what we can do is, up on the menus, we have a menu here that says custom labels. I click on that, I can then drag and drop the labels to anywhere we want. So I'll put sail above the sail charts, that's fine. When it comes to where there's a bit more congestion, maybe wasps across here, Northampton down a little bit, and then Saracens, London Irish, Harlequins. So moving the labels around to look at and give a better view. Now, I might even look at that just now and say it's still quite congested in the London area. So what I can use is, as we hover over this, is custom labels with callouts. And what I can do is click onto the Saracens and drag it away, and it does a call out with a little line attached. So that can be useful where you've got some sort of congestion within your map. Irish down there as well. You can sort of see that. So these things can all be formatted, and they're formatted once again within the labels structure. You've got overlaps, backgrounds, callouts. So all of these things, I would urge you to have a play with them and see what they do. So then formatting on these. And backgrounds also allow you to do things like creating shadows. You can see. Okay, that's quite a change that makes. Halo. So sort of white halo around the side. The halo could actually be a different colour as well, so we could make it a red halo. Looks quite garish, but you start to see what that looks like. We could put a frame around it. Remove the halo. Sorry, I just removed the whole labels there, but certainly we said club. And when we start to go into background, we'll put a frame around it. So if I apply that just now, I've got a slightly different format, and certainly could have a play around with that and show different things there. Certainly that's the first element of changing the icons and the labels. That's been our second video in terms of using Maptitude. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to our Process Evolution YouTube channel. Thank you.